Hello and welcome to today's edition of Citi News Daily on Citi TV with me, Zoe Abu-Baidoo. In this edition, 34 out of 44 suspects allegedly involved in the gruesome murder of Captain Mahama remanded in police custody. In this edition, information available to Citi News Daily indicates that authorization for the purchase of the controversial presidential vehicles was issued 2 days before the transition team was inaugurated. We have the details of this and many more shortly. Do stay. And now to one of our headline stories, and 34 out of 44 suspects allegedly involved in the gruesome murder of Captain Mahama have been remanded into police custody. The suspects, including 4 women and 2 nursing mothers, have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Presenting the facts of the case before the Accra Central District Court 3, the state prosecutor, George Ameke, prayed the court to remand the suspects until the adjourned date of 21st June. He explained that this would help ongoing police investigations. Meanwhile, Captain Mahama will be laid to rest this Friday, June 9, 2017. So in the latest twist to the controversial purchase of vehicles for the presidency in the last week of the Mahama government, Citi News Daily has cited a letter signed by the then Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, authorizing the deal. On the City of Firm's news analysis program, The Big Issue, over the weekend, a former presidential staffer, Dr. Clement Apag, said his government bought the 43 vehicles at the cost of $9 million upon the request of the current government. Citi News Daily's Sixtus Dong Ulo has more in this report.
The 2-paragraphed letter dated 9 December 2016 authorized the outgoing Finance Minister Seth Terkper to take note of the decision to purchase the 43 vehicles for necessary action accordingly. The letter also clearly stated that the outgoing administration had decided to acquire some vehicles for the incoming administration. Meanwhile, sources within the Mahama administration suggest the request to purchase the new vehicles was made upon a request from current Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo, who played key roles in their transition. The sources add that the decision was taken by the previous administration due to the request from the 2 who played lead roles in the deal. It is interesting, however, to note that the letter from the former Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, was signed 2 days before then President John Mahama inaugurated the presidential transition team, which he co-chaired with then President-elect Nana Akufo-Addo. For Citi News Daily, I am Sixtus Dong Ulo.
Meanwhile, the government has dismissed claims that it told the outgoing NDC government to purchase new presidential vehicles in January this year. A Deputy Minister of Information, Kojo Opong Nkrumah, said those claims were baseless and also dismissed arguments that a conversation about buying new cars came up during the transition team's meetings. So away from that story, and the basic education certificate examination began today with over 400,000 candidates participating. But for 2 communities in the Bunkpurugu district of the northern region, some 200 students could not partake in the ongoing exam. According to the assemblyman for Kambatia, Dude James Yogarin, this is due to the change of exams center to a community which he says is far from their towns. Speaking to Citi News Daily, Mr. Yogarin said he is in talks with the district coordinating director of the Bunkpurugu district to resolve the matter so the students can write the exam. Meanwhile, the Minister of State in charge of tertiary education at the presidency, Professor Kwesi Yanka, has cautioned the BECE candidates against examination malpractices. Speaking during a tour of some schools in the Greater Accra region, Professor Yanka also called for invigilators supervising the current BECE who report late to the exam center to be sanctioned. This, he said, will stop the late start of exams across the country.
For me, we lost our masses because we betrayed the values of June 4. However, if this horse jockey business cannot be resolved comprehensively, allowing integrity most of all to prevail, then let both of them step aside and allow for fresh leaders with solid integrity to provide the needed leadership.
So away from that story, and former president and founder of the National Democratic Congress, John Rawlings, is calling for a complete overhaul of his party. According to him, this is the only way the party could come back strong in the next election in 2020. Speaking at the 38th anniversary of June 4th in Wa in the Upper West region, the former president said there was a need for new leaders with solid integrity to lead the party, which he claimed lost disgracefully in the December 7, 2016 general election. Rawlings' outburst comes on the back of a call by a diplomat in the Mahama administration and a failed parliamentary candidate for the Buakwa North, Victor Smith, who believes that an overhaul of the NDC's executive structure is non-negotiable following the party's overwhelming defeat in the 2016 elections. And to a rather disturbing story where 3 workers of a construction site were earlier today trapped under a collapsed floor of a 2-story building under construction at Okpoigonno in Accra. One of the casualties has been rescued while 2 others are feared dead under the wreckage. A joint team of police and national service were at the scene trying to retrieve the 2 laborers who are feared dead from the wreckage. Citi News Daily's Caleb Kuda was at the scene and came through with this report.
The workers, they had just cast the last floor of the story building when it collapsed on them. 2 have been trapped under the wreckage. They are feared dead. 1 has been rescued and whisked and taken to the hospital. The workers tell me that they were just done with work and were about packing off when the unfortunate incident happened. For the 2 who are currently trapped, the firemen fear that they are dead. For Citi News Daily, Caleb Kuda reporting.
And that's how we end today's edition of Citi News Daily on Citi TV. My name is Zoe Abu-Baidoo. Thanks for your time and thanks for watching.
Second Image International admissions in progress. Courses available include hairdressing, beauty therapy and fashion. Call us on 0243 331 999. Evening and weekend classes are also available.